Now you're going to have to excuse me a little bit because this is like some real life shit. This isn't some fantasy shit going on. Okay, this isn't some hypothetical. This isn't a sport, right? This is some real shit that I am honestly outraged about. It's just at so many levels. This is pissing me off. At so many, I can't even believe this is happening. Like I believe it's happening, obviously, but the fact that it's happening, like I acknowledge that it's happening, but I can't believe we're letting it happen. I can't believe it. I just can't. I mean, people will fight for so many things, but it's unbelievable what they're doing to the lands of these Native Americans for a fucking pipeline, right? These are sacred lands to them, right? It's the equivalent of take whatever your religion is, right? It's like someone saying, you know what? I know Catholics, like you really believe in this, but we have to. We just have to do a fucking pipeline right down the middle of the Vatican. Sorry. It's just the way it is. Right? It's like taking down some cathedral because you need to build a fucking pipeline. It's like taking a pipeline, all right, where you bury your dead. It's just whatever, just move it all out of the way. Bulldoze it out of the way. How would you like it? They went to a military cemetery and just build a fucking pipeline. Just right down the middle. There would be outrage in this country. There would be so much outrage if this pipeline was being built anywhere near, all right, somewhere where a lot of rich people live, and they say, we don't want this pipeline anywhere near us or our water. Moves would be made, all right, and that pipeline would not be built. It wouldn't even be discussed. This is disgusting. Now, building it is one thing. What they're doing to peaceful protesters is another. There was armed militiamen who took over a federal building in Oregon. They declared war against the federal government. They were calling for a revolution against the federal government. Yet, the post office, which is run by the federal government, still mailed them things so they can eat and have supplies. Local sheriffs still made up to them to talk about, what are we going to do next? It took them over a month while they left feces and their crap all over the freaking federal building on the outside, right? While they were armed, by the way, it took them over a month. One person got killed, all right, who was armed, by the way. And then they were found not guilty, and now they're free. Native Americans are praying, and they start shooting water at them, water cannons, right? And below freezing temperature. That's fucking torture. What the fuck is that? And it's crazy because you'll have people there filming this, and there's like, depending where they are, you'll have these random people yell terrorist at the Native Americans for protesting this. Terrorist, right? Now, not the ones trying to poison your fucking water, which is another thing. They're trying to preserve water. I don't think people understand the concept of that. These pipelines leak all the time, right? And when they leak, what do they say? Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll clean it up. Cleaning it up is not good enough, right? First of all, we've got to wait for you to clean it up. Second of all, it could take decades for the water to ever be the same. Right? That's the reality. It's disgusting what's going on over there. There was some lady that had her fucking arm taken off. Right? They're shooting rubber bullets at them. And you may think, but they're rubber bullets. Like, you're shooting rubber bullets at peaceful protesters. Those shits hurt, man. Right? Those fucking water cannons, they fucking hurt. Right? And you put water, all right, and not just grown ass men, but women, children, right, on below freezing temperature. I mean, I can't even believe this is happening. Unleashing fucking hounds on them and shit, dogs. I mean, I just can't believe it. I can't believe that this is happening. And what happens? What did Obama do? He called a halt. It was like praising Obama. Oh, what a great president. Look, he put a halt to it. Yeah, okay. All he did was distract them so they could start overnight again, start the whole drilling again. That's all he did. Right? What else has he done? He recommended that they try and build a pipeline as far away from the water as possible. Did the oil companies listen? Of course not. It's a recommendation. You're the president of the United States and you're recommending that they try and, be a little safer with the water. Oh, good job. Go to what you showed them. Oh, yeah. This is stupid. What the fuck? I keep hearing people all over Facebook right now and Twitter and social media crying. Saddened. I can't believe we elected Donald Trump and we're going to lose such a great president like Obama. Well, while you're thinking about what Trump might do, I mean, I know what Obama is doing. He ain't doing shit about this. What did he do for Flint? Nothing. He did nothing for Flint. Right? Did Barack Obama, well, he couldn't do nothing, man. I mean, he has a Congress of the Senate with Republicans. Yeah, look. All right? I could guarantee you right now, if Barack Obama, right, who could, at the snap of his fingertips, like this, man, calls a press conference, every fucking news outlet, all right, will show up. Every single one. Every single last one of them, right? He just has to come out every fucking day in the Rose Garden. Every day. Hey, here I am. This is day number 32. I'm trying to pass this bill so we can clean the water in Flint. I'm trying to get Republicans to sign it off, but they're not doing it for political reasons. The next day, you do the same thing. Right? What you're trying to propose, you put it online. This fucking the age of the internet. Have everybody read it. Oh, look, this is just a bill to clean the water in Flint. And they don't want to sign it. They would have signed it eventually. Right? And if they wouldn't have signed it, your little heir to the throne, Hillary would have won Michigan. Right? But you want to win Michigan just because? You want people to show up to vote for you just because? Why? Because while you're not doing anything about the dirty ass water, you're doing nothing about it. Right? You're just laying down, letting Republicans just run shot on you. And then, to make matters worse, you're over there bragging and lobbying for fucking TPP, which is extremely unpopular in those states that Hillary lost that she should have won. Maybe you should shut the fuck up is what you should have done. Right? But it's all good. It's all good. And what's going on with the fucking natives here? People don't give a fuck. That's the reality. People, they just don't give a shit. Right? Whether it's lack of empathy, whatever it is, they just don't give a shit about it. Right? All right? If you talk about getting rid of the Redskins name, people get more offended. That becomes more of a discussion than this. Right? Every time I talk about getting rid of the Washington Redskins name, which is an obvious, that name is a fucking piece of shit name. It just is. But I'm not going to debate somebody about that. But, all right, anytime I bring that up, I mean, someone brings up the moral high ground argument. Well, why don't you talk about what's going on in the reservations? Talk about what's going on. Those are real issues affecting Native Americans. Yeah, you know what? what you fail to realize is that the Redskins name, the Indians logo in baseball, okay, is symbolic about how people don't give a shit about Native Americans, right? That's how symbolic that is. This whole this is about pride. This is about we're proud to have Native Americans represent our team. Like, if that was true, we would see more fucking outrage about what's going on right now in Standing Rock. We'd see a lot more of it, right? This is disgusting. What's going on? Disgusting, right? And by the way, these are their lands. Supposedly a treaty that they did not write themselves. An unfair treaty that was given to them to sign says that's their land. Who gives a shit? Nobody's going to care. Just put the fucking pipeline. And for what? This pipeline will do nothing. Right? It's not going to do anything for anybody. Right? This is just a bunch of donors that donated a lot of money to politicians in Washington, and that's why this shit's getting done. That's it. Right? And guess what? Obama's one of those people that got donations. And that's why he ain't doing shit. Obama thinks because he invites a chief or two to the White House and gives a speech about how important Native Americans are to our culture. Right? And the left praises him for this. Oh, yeah, look at him. Unbelievable. Look at this. He calls a halt. He calls a halt to the pipeline. It was like a 2-day halt. I mean, he got so much praise for that. It was just a distraction, right? In hopes that some of these protesters go back home to their states and stuff like that. That's all that was, right? That's all that was. I mean, this is... Obama always talks about his fucking legacy. This is his legacy right here, right? He will go down as a president that was in power when this shit happened. And that's it, right? And he did nothing about it. Just lip service. That's all he does. And when you think about it, that's most of the shit he did anyway. But your lip service. Sounds good. I mean, shit, you listen to him long enough, you'll start believing him. I'll tell you that. I mean, he invited all these natives to he invited them in everything. He had them like dressed up in with the feathers and the whole nine. Right? Right there in the White House. With the garments and everything. Beautiful, right? Yeah, and he talked about, the natives and, Obama, you know how he goes on. He goes all out in the speeches. He goes all out. Very charismatic dude. I got to give it to him. Right? At the end of the day, they're still building the fucking pipeline. But what do you want him to do? He's the commander-in-chief. He could command, the National Guard to go tell his police officers to back the fuck up. Right? He could do that. He has authority to do that. Right? Yeah, but what good is that going to do? I mean, again, the cognitive dissonance of a lot of these Obama supporters is unbelievable. No, but what is that going to do? I mean, let's say Obama stops it from happening. We all know Trump is going to continue it. All right, so let's say that's true, right? Let's assume that's the truth, and I think it is, right? Because when you look into it, Trump had some investments in that, so it makes sense, right? But, at least put the pressure on Donald Trump, make sure this becomes an issue. Because now all Trump has to say is, he could even turn it around. He could even say, I would have stopped it, but Obama didn't do anything about it. Well, what do you want me to do? I just came into office. The pipeline's already done. You could stop it. You could put a complete halt to it, right? Hopefully have a way to just reroute the whole thing. It may cost a lot more money to do it, but at the end of the day, it could be done. going to try. The effort is not there. The dude's over there partying fucking turkeys, right? Partying a turkey while fucking natives are getting fucking slaughtered over there, abused and arrested for praying. I mean, it's just stupid, you know? And the media is not there. Like CNN, have you noticed how like they're not there? Like they'll talk about it, but they're not there. You know, they're not covering this shit. They're covering, no offense to Kanye West, and I hope the guy's all right, but he's not worth 24 hours of media coverage. He probably doesn't even want that coverage. Not for what's happened to him now. Leave the guy alone. And how about you do your fucking job and cover this shit? All right? Look, I'm not saying don't mention Kanye at all. That's not what I'm saying. But you don't need wall-to-wall coverage about Kanye, okay, canceling a concert tour, right? And all this. And now he's, you know, apparently he needs help and all this, that, and the third. You don't need wall-to-wall coverage about that. You need wall-to-wall coverage about this, right? The president isn't being asked about this. They're not asking him this shit. They're not asking President-elect Trump about this. This shit wasn't even mentioned in the debates. It wasn't even mentioned in the debates. If anything, these two sides probably agree that they want this shit done, and that's probably why they didn't even go over it. Hey, Hillary, shall we talk about, the pipeline? No, Donald, we both agree on the whole thing. That's probably what happened. They probably say, we want everything. We can't agree on something. That's probably what happened. You're right, Hillary. And we can't be agreeing on something because people will get bored. We both want pipelines built, so we'll just continue along our way. And the best part about this is, obviously, when I say that, I mean sarcastic, but in all honesty, the worst part about this is that if this was a Republican president currently in office, everybody in the fucking left would be fucking losing it, right? And I would say rightfully so, but they're not doing it now. Like, this shit's crazy that they're mourning Barack Obama leaving office and Donald Trump coming in. It's like this. It's unbelievable. If this was President Bush, it'd be, oh, how disgusting of President Bush to be allowing this shit to happen. You thought you can have the president just order the National Guard around. Yeah, you can. Right? Presidents have done it before. This, to me, is a circumstance where it is necessary, especially when the treaty was within the federal government and the natives. So the federal government should enforce that treaty. They should show up and tell those rent-a-cops, right, with their little dogs and shit, to back the fuck up. Go home. Right? That's it. Shit's insane. Right? He could have ordered, he could have like this. He could have done it like this. All right? When the Oregon guys took over that federal building, you know what? They can get those guys out of there. Tell them they got 48 hours to get the fuck out of there, or we're going in. Right? That's it. We're not playing games. He didn't do it. Why? Because he was too scared. He was scared of the backlash. Right? He was too fucking scared of the backlash. That's what it was. Right? He thought a bunch of white people were going to be mad at him. That's what it is. Right? When what they did was, it was terrorist activities, what they did. Right? And if you look at it was any other group, by the way. Can you imagine these same natives took over a federal building? Pfft, are you kidding me? 48 hours? Forget about 48 hours. You wouldn't even need a president order for that. I mean, this shit, it would have been taken care of. Right? Any other group, just name it. Gone. 24 hours or less. shots fired, and all of them got slaughtered and killed, all you would see on social media is, yeah, good, that's what they get. Don't be stupid. Don't take over a federal building. You get shot when you do that. Duh. Don't break the law. You don't get shot. Remember, you know that, But hey, I digress. This shit is unbelievable. I can't believe this president sometimes. I can't. This is a guy that won, by the way. When you look at just a popular vote, I mean, he still has a record, by the way. He had like 69 million votes or some shit in 2008, right? Which Trump's like down by 8 million from that. Hillary like 7 million or so. I mean, crazy. This is a guy who, I mean, came in as he has huge approval rating right now. He was very popular. I mean, he's been a very popular president. And I don't know if it's just him wanting to keep his popularity. I don't know if it's him thinking, sometimes the right choice is right down the middle. I don't know. The natives say that they're being abused. The cops say they're not abusing them. I don't know. I just think they're going to work it out. I think they got to work it out. I don't know. They say this, they say that. I can't pick a side. I'm Barack Obama. I'm just going to go. It's just down the middle. That's it. All right. It's just down the middle about everything. Right. There's a shooting somewhere, down the middle. I'm going to play it down the middle. Not even realize that when you play it down the middle, people to the left think you're right. People to the right think you're left. Right? And when people look back in history, they're going to be like, damn, this president didn't stand up for anything. You don't think JFK had any backlash when he sent a National Guard, right? Because a racist governor had the police on his side, right? And they lined up in front of a university, and they were not going to allow African Americans to go in, right? No, we're not going to let them come in. He said, yeah, you are. And he sent the fucking that motherfucker backed up quick, right? You don't think there was any conspiracy theories going on? You don't think anybody was mad about that? And you don't think he was hated for it by some people? Sure he was. But he made the call, though. You look back in history now, you say, you know what? That was the right call. Time, it'll tell everything. Imagine he played it down the middle. I don't know. I mean, the African American kids say they're not letting them in school, but the governor says it's not true. I don't know. I'm just going to play it down the middle. We'll see. Well, President, you want to do anything about it? I mean, what can I do? There's nothing I can do about it. Whatever. Something has to be done about what's going on in Standing Rock. Right? I mean, it's out of all the politicians, and hear this out, okay? Out of all of them, there's maybe 2 or 3 senators that I know of that are talking about this. And one of them is Bernie Sanders. Right? Bernie Sanders is talking about this every day. The media doesn't even care. They're not even, they don't care about that. Right? They just don't. President like Trump ain't talking about it. Current president's not talking about it. Hillary's not talking about it. The Clintons aren't talking about it. The Democrats aren't talking. The Democrats, they're already talking about, they're already trying to line up their next golden girl. Look her up. They have a new golden girl lined up for 2020. They're going to ride this first woman president thing till it crashes, man. They already have a younger, version of Hillary coming. They're already planning this shit. The protege of hers, they already got this shit planned out for 2020. Already lining up the donors and everything. I mean, they're fucking disgusting, these people. Right? They're not going to give up on this. They think first women president is a winning formula. The reality is, okay, voting for someone just because they're a woman is stupid, right? I mean, that's dumb. But the reality is it's going to be another corporate puppet who's masquerading herself as just, I'm the first woman president. That's what it is. Look it up. Well, that's it, right? Democrats aren't talking about this. They're still talking about dumb shit like Trump's Hitler and dumb shit like that, okay? Look, I don't like Trump. I think he's a buffoon. I think he's an idiot. I just don't think it's going to be as bad as people think. That's all. Right? I just don't. And the reality is, on 90% of issues, he's the same shit as Barack Obama. He's just a better salesman. That's all. Okay? He just makes it sound better. Right? That's all. They're both selling you a piece of shit car. It's just when Obama sells it to you, like, you feel good about it. You know, that's it. Okay? Trump, like, he just doesn't know how to do it, you know. But I don't think, like, in other words, I think Trump obviously lied about a lot of things, but so did Obama, man. Like, it's same shit. They both said they're not going to have lobbyists. Now they have lobbyists. You know, if you were to force me, well, which one's better? I think, obviously, I think the Trump presidency is going to be a disaster. Right? I think it's going to be a disaster. Right? I just don't see, you know, Hitler or Stalin, like all this crazy shit nonsense they're talking about. We'll be okay. All right. It's not your life's 99% of people's lives is really not going to be dramatically changed. Okay. Yes, you do have a lot of racists, you know, celebrating this win. And it's before long, they're going to realize, fuck, this fucker doesn't give a shit about us either. He used us to get elected. It's eventually that's gonna, no matter how dumb they are, they're gonna come to terms with it eventually, right? Or maybe not. I mean, half of Obama supporters are still talking about how this guy is the greatest of all time. There's nothing he could have done worse. I mean, every decision he ever made was perfect, right? Anything that he could have done is not his fault. He's just blame Republicans, and that's it. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I don't know. Maybe a lot of Trump supporters will ride and die with this guy till the end. I don't know, right? But obviously, it is no. It's absolutely no coincidence that many in Washington, congressmen, senators that get a lot of big donations from big oil aren't saying anything about this, right? They're not saying nothing. And big oil has a lot of big commercials on TV. They pay CNN and Fox News and MSNBC a lot of money to run ads, you know, so that they don't want to get on the bad side. It's all money. That's all it is, right? But if you just go online and look into some of this shit, it's fucking disgusting. And that's it. And like I said, that was about 2 months ago, I believe I did a video and I said, this shit's going to get done. And in 30 years from now, whoever the president is then or whatnot, is going to give some beautiful speech and is going to say, we're so sorry for what happened. It shouldn't have happened. But what's done is done, right? It's always the same story. Fuck them over, apologize a couple years later, and just say, what's done is done. You know, hey, what's done is done. There's nothing we can do about it. Hey, you know, fuck it. I'm very sorry, though. I'm so sorry. Sure you are, right? Anyway, I'm out.